Well, hello everybody, I'm Quentin, and this is just a little video clip to show you a bit more about my attempts to mount an electric outboard onto my Gumotex, I don't know how you pronounce it, Alofonso. Now the Alofonso is a great little boat. It has a fairly short transom, so ignore the wooden bit for the moment. Think of the black bit here. This goes onto the back of the boat, the big tubes come through here. And that's the height of the transom. The water is not, very far below this when you're going along. So it's not actually that large. This is sort of 20 centimeters or something. And so a lot of outboards, including the one I've got, have quite a long shaft, which means if you just mount them on this, when the prop is fairly low in the water. And on a small boat, the sort of rivers and things I'm going on, firstly, you don't want them to get tangled up in the reeds and the mud and so on. And secondly, it's just not that efficient. If the prop is very low down, you get more drag on the shaft. It doesn't, anyway, for a whole variety of reasons, I wanted to lift it up. So this is my prototype mount. Actually, this is my more final mount. You may have seen my earlier videos that had a prototype. And all I've done is got a couple of bits of ply here, glued and bolted them together. I've got some aluminium angle here. Let me bring it a bit closer. And you can see essentially there are two bits, one that is fixed to the transom, one that is fixed to my sort of supplemental transom, auxiliary transom, and I put some holes in here so I could put this at various different heights. But what seems to turn out for me is that having it about 8-10 centimeters above the original transom line works really well, and so, in case this is useful for anybody else, this is an example of how to raise the transom a little bit if your boat has it a little bit too low. And the only downside is you have to drill holes in your nice original transom, but I thought I could fill those easily if this didn't work. And I was pretty confident by this stage, because of my earlier prototypes, that this was roughly what I wanted. It lifts it up. It also moves the motor back a little bit, which puts the tiller in a more convenient position for using in a small boat. Anyway, hope this is useful. Let's go to a quick video clip where I'll show you it in action. Aha! There is one other thing I meant to point out, which might be useful again if you're thinking of doing something similar, and that is I actually made this broader than it needs to be. Okay, the actual space needed to bolt the motor on, I could have got away with a bit of wood about that wide, but I found that in a narrow boat, and I mentioned this in previous videos, in a narrow boat it is quite useful to be able to offset the motor to one side, and that's because you're going to be sitting something like this. You've got the tiller here, and if the tiller's right in the middle, then it's a bit too close to you. So I actually run the boat, and you'll see this in the video, with the motor offset a bit, and it doesn't make much difference to the steering, and it does make quite a lot of difference to your comfort. So this I made basically the full width that I might want to move the boat, the engine from side to side, and I keep it clamped. Maybe, what is it? It's probably about, an inch or two to the right of center. Well, depends which way you're facing, to the port side of center, because the boat's actually that way and I'm sitting like this. So useful tip, give yourself a bit more width than you actually need. Okay, now let's go to the video. Well, hello everyone, we are out in the boat again. I am here with Rose, and we're filming this now because we've actually got some sunshine. It's been a bit of an overcast day for most of the morning, but we are back on the River Great Ouse again, and we've just been to lunch at the Brampton Mill down there, and we're heading for Offord Cluny down this way. But I just wanted to show you the latest variant on my motor mount here, and this is working really quite nicely. My previous video I showed a prototype one where I just wanted to lift the motor up a little bit, and let's see, I don't know if I can show you this without dropping things in the water, but this seems to be working very well. Gives us just enough height, moves the motor a little bit further back. It's quite windy here, I hope you can hear me. And yes, we are really having a very nice time. And zooming along under electric power. It's a tough life.